Okay, I'm live again. I tried doing this in my backyard, but there wasn't enough Wi-Fi signal, so I'm in my house now. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I guess because I don't know what else to do right now. I'm supposed to, well, no, I will be going, what time is it? Hall in about an hour and a half for, hello, Mark. This is fun. Not going to a judicial meeting. Hello, former to free ex JW. This is real. It's like there's people here. Hi. Okay. I'm gonna focus and not look at everybody saying hello. It's everybody saying hello. I'm gonna look at the ceiling. it's it's the people who have left comments on my videos and the people that I know who are out there who've either gone through this ridiculous process or have ignored it but are still impacted by it. That's why I'm going today. I kind of feel like I've been preparing my entire life for this moment because I was bullied like kindergarten through 12th grade. I've talked about this in previous videos. I was bullied for being chubby, for being a Jehovah's Witness, for being poor, for being weird, for being different. And I think as a result of like um, surviving that, um, I mean, I remember riding the bus home some days just in tears and just feeling like I didn't belong on the planet. Um, am I going to record it? I don't know. The elders do watch my YouTube videos. I just found out from another one yesterday that he watched it and read the comments. So it's like JW broadcast. All the information is out there, and I'm going to ask them like, what exactly are my charges? And for anybody who's just catching up with the story here, the exact text because I was invited by text was you are invited to a judicial meeting for your quote unwillingness to recognize the faithful and discreet slave and for your baptism into another religion. And I was not baptized into another religion. I was baptized in Lake Michigan on November 30th, 2017. That's a whole other detour, but like why I'm going, some of the funny comments, I guess if I were to have taken a poll on to go or not to go to a Jehovah's Witness judicial meeting, if I'm just rounding numbers, it would probably have been at like 80% don't go because they have no authority over you. And then one person wrote a funny comment stuck in my head. They're like, go and wear a bikini. It's like, no, I will not be wearing a bikini at this. Actually, I'm gonna put on a skirt. I was gonna go, and I don't like wearing skirts. I was gonna just go in like a t-shirt and jeans, like casual. But that scripture came to mind about Paul, who said he was all things to all men, like be a Jew to the Jew and a Gentile to the Gentiles, poor to the poor, etc., etc. So I'm just gonna be a JW to the JWs, out of respect. I believe in treating people how I want to be treated, and whatever I can do in my power to not elicit the persecution complex that is so trigger happy in like a Jehovah's Witness elder, because it's how they're trained to respond to critically thinking people. Hi everybody. Hello, hello. Above the knee skirt. Nah, I only have below the knee skirts. Anyway, so I'm going, this is ridiculous. I mean, I'm thinking about the world has become so small to all of us because we have thousands and thousands of like live in real time YouTube channels of people like women in Saudi Arabia who now drive their cars. Like just think a few years ago women couldn't drive a car in Saudi Arabia. Like you want to talk about archaic injustice. But it made me think about things like Sharia law because this is what I compare like this whole JW watchtower judicial like parallel underground judicial thing that they think is very real. um but then how do they reconcile that with Romans chapter 13, which is submit yourself to the superior authorities? And so it makes me think of like Sharia law and how like right now today in a country in the Middle East, if someone is quote unquote found out for being homosexual, under Sharia law, they have the right to throw that person off a tall building to their death. Like, talk about grave injustice. So, like, what I'm doing today is super minor in comparison to that, but it isn't, because the two people I've been really kind of meditating on today are the two suicides that I personally know of as a result of people who couldn't deal with shunning. So it's taken me 5 minutes to finally get to my point. This is ridiculous, being summoned because of a thought crime. Even if I speak my thoughts on YouTube, Jehovah's Witnesses don't have to watch this. Like, turn it off. I don't knock on the doors of Jehovah's Witnesses here in my territory and stick my foot in the door like we used to and force them to listen to me. Like, I'm not doing that. So let's say it's gone beyond the thought crime. I really want to read all of these comments. Let's say no, okay, so here's an example, and I respect this comment. You're not the only person who said this. By attending, you are empowering them. I personally don't feel like I'm empowering the elders by attending, because I believe they're victims of victims. And so I completely respect people. Like, okay, let me just tell you right now, my stomach is a little bit in knots. Yesterday I did a float tank. I highly recommend it, although I got a little bored, but it's a sensory deprivation tank, like high saline solution water, and you just float in there, and it's completely dark. Like, if you open your eyes, it's just as dark as if your eyes are closed, and you float in the I guess that paused there for a second. Anyway, um it has a glitch just like my brain. Um um People who lack awareness, it does like try our patience, but it calls me to a place, like, this is practice on how to like deal with people in the real world, because we're always going to come across people who are behaving at immature narcissistic levels, and we can either just ignore them all, which, we all fall on the narcissistic spectrum. I know I do. I think I used to be way higher than I am today. And it's through things like self work and practicing listening to others. So I guess I feel like that's an act of graciousness. And whether or not these men choose, while we're all seated together tonight, I mean, wouldn't it be cool if we could do it live stream? Um, uh, I'm about to give up. But whether they choose or not to hear me, that is beyond my control. Okay. So I was in the float. One could put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Is that how it goes? But I feel like we're rewriting the nursery rhyme because we're all putting each other back together again. Like, the support I've received from people, I met like to call him a super cool XJW or JW, whatever, he's Pimo on Sunday. I hope that you watch this. Like, that was the highlight of it was a highlight in my life. And then I laughed with the people who were in my car group as we're leaving our little lunch date, and we were saying to each other, remember how, like, when you would meet fellow Jehovah's Witnesses, like at a convention or whatever, and you'd be like, how long have you been in the truth? How did you find the truth? Blah blah blah, the truth. And now it's like, now we say, how did you leave the truth? Like, that's now, like, and not to disrespect. All right, I guess my phone is shunning. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Uh, we're just gonna keep putting each other back together. Right? Isn't this annoying? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go down where like the Wi-Fi is. But anyway, it's very